Thank you, everyone. Our reading today is called Telling Our Tales by Jeanette Ross. Once there was a village far from the city and city ways. Few strangers came to visit, and nearly everyone here was related to someone else. The people were so poor that they had never seen a mirror. The only thing new each day were the morning's quarrels. One young man of the village had the misfortune of losing both of his parents soon after he was married. This made him very sad, which did not please his new wife. When he had reason to do business in the distant town, he chose to make the long walk by himself to get his mind off of his sorrows. "Bring something back to show you are thinking of me," his wife would say with a little pout. After he finished his business, the young man remembered his wife's request. He would bring something home, something pretty. He was walking past a mirror shop, admiring the gleaming frames of what he thought were pictures, when to his amazement, he saw a face he recognized. "It is a picture of my father as a young man," he said, staring at his reflection. "Surely my wife will be pleased when I honor the memory of my father." And he ran into the shop and spent all he had left on the little mirror. The young man hurried home to show his wife, but she was not as happy with his choice as he. "Let me see," she cried, and took the mirror. "This is not a picture of your father," she said, quite upset. "You brought a picture of a pretty young woman to make me jealous. Yes, she is beautiful, but you can see that she is vain and selfish." The young man protested loudly as he tried to take back the mirror. Their voices carried across the village, and soon all their relatives were gathered around them. The young wife's older sister took the mirror and said, "It's clear to me that this is a portrait of a goddess, someone accustomed to make others do her will. This picture is meant to teach my sister to obey her proud and foolish husband. I predicted something like this." Now the young man's uncle stepped in. "Indeed," he said, "this face is a lot like your father's, but firmer, more strong-willed. It is a face that will bring order to a family for those who listen." And he looked warningly at the young wife. At this, the young woman's cousin bumped the uncle's arm and quickly took the mirror, saying, "Ha! It's a trick. I see a sly face pretending to be friendly, but secretly full of evil." Everyone was shouting now, until the wise woman of the village hobbled up. The crowd stepped back respectfully as she approached, and the mirror was handed to her. The old woman looked long and thoughtfully at the mirror's face. She turned it one way and now another, and then spoke. "This is indeed a marvel," she said. "This picture changes from moment to moment. See how it flashes? Now it gives us a kind of old face, one that can bring an end to quarrels. Why not hang up this light catcher from the rafters of the house? It can bring down the spirit of heaven and shine back good luck to all of us." And so it was that the first mirror of the village hung from the rafters of the young couple's house and brought peace and happiness to everyone, perhaps because that is what they expected. Today's sermon will be read by one of our own, Eileen, Fallon.
The sermon today is called 10 Things That Matter Most, and it's by the Reverend Jean M. Rowe. Today's sermon is a challenge to myself to sit down and do some clear thinking and review what I've learned in the more than half a century that I've been around. I wanted to take the time to distill from my own experience and from the multiple sources of teaching I've been exposed to. From formal academic work and religious instructions, sermons beyond count, reading in philosophy, psychology, religion, and politics. I was once a candidate for a master's degree in political theory, as well as the considerable teaching of my culture and family and the institutions of which I've been a part. In short, I wanted to give a personal summary of what I've learned to date, the things that matter most. It is my hope that it will stimulate you to do your own thinking, not to debate the accuracy or appropriateness of my list, but to provoke your own ruminations. In the winter, a fallow time for the earth, there is time for the fertile inner life. Good thing there's something, aside from all this cold, to ponder the inner things of worth, to watch for the light in new ways, to see what the darkness yields. I chose 10 things because 10 is a good number. 10 rules, 10 commandments, 10 fingers to count on. 10 is a good number, but there's no overwhelming reason that I did not pick 7 or 8 or 12, for that matter, except that 7 or 8 seemed too few, and 12 or 15 seemed too many. You decide how many things matter most to you. You may come up with 25 or 50. Well, here's my list. It isn't the last word for me or for you, but it's deeply held. Every time I thought about this during the last month, the first item that came up every single time was integrity. Develop, cultivate, honor your own integrity, and call for it in others. Be honest and clear with yourself, and strive for clarity with others. Plato and Emerson agree, to thine own self be true. It is easy to pull the wool over your own eyes. It takes many forms: denial of reality, refusal to see the truth, idealism that blinds you to what's happening, self-protection in the face of real or imagined threats, delusions of all kinds, escapism, etc. Most people around you can see through it, if not right away, then before too long. So, as a device to protect you from harm, denial doesn't work in the long run. Since the 1960s, we've had much more emphasis on the freedom to be oneself. I just want to be me. I got to be me. And I applaud it. Personal freedom is great, and I'm glad to be alive now. But freedom always demands a price: responsibility. When I am free to be me, there is a corresponding responsibility to be honest and honorable as well. In this increasingly complex and competitive world, public integrity seems rare. We almost expect to be lied to, and when this happens, the quality of moral life is seriously eroded. When we do see public integrity, it appears more beautiful than ever, like finely spun gold or silk, and more precious. People of integrity stand out clearly, like shining stars. Be one. Teach your kids and the younger people you know to be those clear stars of personal integrity. Tell the truth and live your truth. I didn't say it was easy. It often takes years of therapy or 12-step programs or devotion to truth. But I believe that nothing matters more than the struggle for personal integrity. Be true, stay true, stop waffling, manipulating, and hiding. Stand up for what you know is right and teach your kids to do so as well. Love yourself, as Jesus taught. Second, strive for emotional maturity. Interesting, a certain door opens at that time. Anyway, teach it by example. Find ways to encourage it and insist on it in others. Learn to deal with anger, other strong emotions, urges, and appetites. Find ways to manage your short temper, your overwhelming desires, your lusts, and your animal instincts. Notice I didn't say control, although you may have to do that too. I use the word manage, for I believe that is more effective. The past 20 years have seen a loosening of societal rules and boundaries, and increased emphasis on the goodness of expressing feelings and the freedom to be oneself. And that is good, I think. But there's a fine line that gets blurred between expressing one's feelings and being bludgeoned by them. It's almost as if society had colluded in the degradation of human behavior. The increasing number of crimes of passion, of temper fits in public schools, of volatile combinations of fast weapons and hot emotions are obvious to us all. We must change our cultural norms and expectations and teach better management of emotions and instincts, or, it seems to me, we'll have an increasingly downward spiral of chaos and danger. Immature behavior in adolescents and adults is rampant. We need to help people grow up. And the essence of growing up, I believe, is learning to manage dysfunctional social behavior, especially the emotional or addictive kinds. I used to have low blood sugar, especially at lunchtime. When hunger hits and my stomach begins to ache, I feel physically weak and edgy too. I can control it, breathe, and live through it, which works. I used to warn my kids when I was overly hungry that I was apt to be short-tempered, that it had nothing to do with their behavior, but that I was grouchy for another reason. Such control of my response to a drop in blood sugar helped, of course, but even more pleasant for everyone around me and for my own digestive and emotional system is better management. Now I manage my needs by eating when I need to, even when it's just a cup of yogurt or some cheese and crackers at a meeting. I've learned to schedule my lunches better. One of the best ways to learn appetite or emotional management is through meditation, remembering to breathe deeply and focus on a still point. For real addictions, of course, 12-step groups and therapy of various sorts are required, but for ordinary or ornery human nerves and passions, various forms of Buddhist meditation and relaxation techniques are easy, portable, and non-intrusive. Just breathe and remember who you are, a civilized, mature person managing emotions. Breathe. Third, manners matter. Civilized societies have rules for good social intercourse because it keeps us from being barbarians, slurping our food and stealing meat off our neighbor's plate or from his pasture. Our children and co-workers and everybody need to learn social graces for graciousness' sake, for sanity's sake. We read about the decline in civility. It seems true to me that people aren't working for the well-being of entire communities. People seem to be treating others as others, cutting them off, driving to endanger. In a crowded, busy world, manners are essential. Hats off to the parents and grandparents who, like most of you, are carefully, systematically, and emphatically teaching your children good manners. May your tribes increase. Fourth, invite natural rhythms into your life. Children, adults, everyone who lives on this planet needs to live at least partly by the natural rhythms of light and dark, summer and winter, ebb and flow, rain and sunshine, earth beneath bare toes, storm and calm. To be in touch with, to live with natural rhythms, is crucial for being fully human and humble. Note that the words human and humble are related. Both come from the same root as the word humus, of the soil. We are earthlings, and our souls need soil living to be whole and real. The earth can be divided into discrete biological systems, each with its own common regional unity, its own particular geography and geology, its rivers, lakes, mountains, hills, valleys. Local weather, climate, soil type, and culture have a particular flavor and feel to them, and these help to shape the soul and lifestyle of local people. Honor your connections with the earth and help your children to do so. They will be more grounded, more alive. Fifth, honor your family. They are imperfect and difficult in many ways, but they are yours. They protect your environment, and you protect theirs. They are there for keeps, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. You've got them for life unless you or they do something drastic, which sometimes happens. But they are yours. Learn to help one another better. Give more than you take. Families are life's primary human institution. It is no joking matter that one of the 10 commandments is, honor thy mother and father, for human life depends on healthy, honorable families. Let us be a part of building them. Parents, after your children grow up, you will have lots of freedom again. It's great, you'll love it. But for now, you have a task that is the most important of your life, to provide them with a safe, loving, learning, holding environment to grow up in. Honor your role. Honor your family above all else. Sixth, get tough. Don't get macho or aggressive, but develop a thick enough skin to protect your own integrity and your family's. Nice people too often give themselves away with their generosity, while the ruthless manipulate and take advantage of them. Learn to speak up and speak out to protect your soul, your psyche, your own dignity, and your family's dignity. Don't let anybody take your most precious possession from you. Find a way to draw a magic circle of protection around yourself and consciously tend to it from time to time. Learn to draw boundaries. Learn to protect yourself. Martial arts are intended for just that, for deflecting aggression and preventing it from causing you physical or emotional harm. The times ahead are going to be hard and harder, I believe, and we need to do some psychic and physical armament. As Rabbi Hillel once said, if I am not for myself, who will be? Get tough, take care of yourself and those you love. Seventh, cultivate a generous spirit to balance your toughness. Be a giver of life, abundantly, generously. What goes around comes around. Live as though the things you do come back to you threefold. So be generous. It will come back to delight you. My grandmother had a tough and tender spirit. She was abundantly generous and clear about where she stood. She gave her life to others without giving herself away. In her old age, she lived to be 102, her daughters and son-in-law vied with each other to take care of her needs, financially and materially. She had inadequate Social Security and pension, but she was provided for generously. What she gave out came around. She loved her family fiercely for 80 years, and they loved her back. Gift giving is an art, not a duty. Learn to give gifts from the heart, not from the pocket, and learn to enjoy the free gifts that come your way. Allow time for them. It is so easy to put job or duty in front of visiting with another, but there's nothing more precious in life than honoring your friendships. Make time for them and put your heart into it, for the rewards you reap later will be gladsome. Cultivate generosity. Eighth, tend to your higher power, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of life, Gaia, the light and life that dwells in and through you, beyond, beneath, and above you. Pray frequently for guidance and enlightenment, that thy will be done in and through me. Be prepared. You do not know the moment that you will be called upon to use every gift and talent in the service of life, the service of God, however you name it. There will be tasks, things for you to do when the time comes. Prepare yourself. There is another reason to trust God and listen for what it says in your life. Strong forces are gathering. The Buddhist in me says, no, they are always there, but you don't always pay attention. But the Western religion in me, the Jewish-Christian mix with a little bit of Islam, says, be prepared. Competing forces are gathering in greater numbers, and the battle will be hard. Mythologist Joseph Campbell wrote in 1972, there are no more horizons, and with the dissolution of horizons we have experienced and are experiencing collisions, terrific collisions, not only of people, but of their mythologies. It is as when dividing panels are withdrawn from between chambers of very hot and very cold airs. There is a rush of these forces together. This is just what we are experiencing, and we are riding it to a new age, a new birth, a totally new condition of mankind, to which no one anywhere alive today can say that he or she has the key, the answer, the prophecy to its dawn. Nor is there anyone to condemn here. What is occurring is completely natural. Be prepared. Ask God what you can do, should do, now, not tomorrow. Prepare daily. Something will be asked of you. Be among the counted. Ninth, hold fast to dreams. Have hope. 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 The poet Langston Hughes wrote these wonderful words, hold fast to dreams, for when dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Or, as Emily Dickinson said, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the song without the words and never stops at all. Hope has no reason. Hope just is. Hold fast to hope, to dreams, no matter what. 10th, teach Thanksgiving. Acknowledge your blessings frequently throughout the day, whenever you think of it. Thank God. Thank the postal workers. Thank your children. Thank your friends. Thank them often. The giving of thanks is the essence of prayer and a wish for more to come. As Dag Hammarskjöld put it each New Year's Day, for all that has been, thanks. For all that is to come, yes. Give thanks. Take these 10 things that matter most as my gift to you, but better yet, as your gift to yourself and to your family and to the wider communities of which we are a part. Strive for integrity and insist on it in others. Grow up. Learn to manage urges and emotions. Cultivate good manners. Invite natural rhythms into your life. Toughen up. Honor your family. Cultivate generosity, a generous spirit. Trust God or the spirit of life or your higher power. Hold fast to dreams. Hope. Teach and live thanksgiving. Love life. Live it well. Amen. So may it be.